Welcome to Talking Sport with SD and the Fazman. As usual, we have fantastic guests on our show. Also have great sponsors. Thanks to Old Bridge Cellars in Como, Finance My Home, and It's Real Estate. Thanks to those guys for helping us bring this podcast together. And today, KP, great to have you with me again, mate.
Thanks, buddy. We have the same sponsors every week, and you still can't remember who the bloody hell they are.
I do. I just like to make sure there's a bit of a gap in there so everyone can support them. Anyway, mate, where are you? You're in a glass house.
I'm where where Usman Khawaja shouldn't be, because he turned around and said the Perth pitch was shit. And big news coming out of here. So Usman, you shouldn't throw stones in glass houses, son, because you're bloody copping it now. So I just thought I'd sit in Usman's glass house and I just made that up on the spot.
Yeah, that was very good. Very good. Well, mate, we're going to diverse a bit today. We've had some of the men's softballers on previously on our show. We've got some softball royalty from the women's. The Australian Spirit had a great win in Brisbane last week against Chinese Taipei. And we've got one of the fantastic team members from Perth. Sara Riou has joined us. So, Sarah, thanks for coming on Talking Sport with SD and the Fazman.
No problem. Thanks, boys. I'm looking forward to getting stuck into this. Enjoy your holiday, KP, in the glass house.
Hopefully. It doesn't last long. It's only an hour at a time. There we go. Thanks, mate. I see a little bit of paraphernalia behind you there. You've got the mitt, and
yes.
It looks like a boxing glove. You must have younger brothers. Huh?
No, so this is my glove I still use, and it's 10 years old. So, because I don't want to get rid of it yet. And this is my new glove that I've had for 3 years, but I still don't play with it yet. So I'm just slowly breaking it in.
That sounds like Paul's girlfriends that they slowly break him in.
Yeah, anyway, thanks very much, KP.
I'm not talking about getting you right doing the dishes and all that sort of stuff. So how come you haven't used it? Is it a psychological thing? Is it because you're winning with the old glove?
So it's too firm at the moment. So I like when it's quite loose. So I'll train with it. But I'll still play with my older one because it's looser. So I find that it's a bit more flexible, if the ball takes a bad hop or something like that.
Is there, this is going right off topic. We were never going down this part to start with. Is there regulations around the size of the glove?
That is such a good question. I'm sure there is. I know there's something. So the catcher has a different glove to everyone else on the field. So I'm pretty sure you can't use the catcher's glove unless you're catching because it's super thick. But in terms of some of the other gloves, I'm unsure. I mean, you wouldn't want a glove that's too big because then you can't actually sort of feel when the ball's in your glove and you don't have as much control. So it's sort of about having a balance.
How hard is that? That ball's massive. I always found when I was at school playing softball, it was so hard to throw because you can't get your whole fist around it to actually, it must be really difficult to chuck it hard and fast.
Oh, you'll love this, boys. I was just chatting to someone at softball yesterday. My theory is with every sport, the women will use a modified size of the equipment. But we use the exact same size ball as the men in softball.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the men get such good movement and speed on the ball. Obviously, they're stronger, but it's because their hands also are bigger, so they can grip it better. So I was like, imagine if we played with, smaller size softball, we would be able to throw it a lot harder and the pitchers would be able to get so much, more control of the ball.
Mm.
But just something to think about.
It's definitely right because I've got chipolatas for fingers, right? So I got tiny little hands. Yeah? So I always found it difficult. In fact, when I was playing softball at school, I used to bowl it in like cricket style because I just couldn't get my head around throwing it. But anyway, let's go to the recent competition over there in Queensland. You towed up Chinese Taipei. Were you in the starting 11? Were you in the starting 11? Were you in the starting squad for the first game? And
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously my first tournament with the Australian team. So was just happy to get out and do whatever role the team wanted from me. But yeah, so I was in the starting team out in left field. And yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough challenge because Chinese Taipei are a strong team. And yeah, we came out of the blocks firing and yeah, got the first 2 wins on that first day.
How excited were you when you knew that you were going to represent Australia for the first time?
Yeah, I mean it was pretty surreal. And I was trying not to think about it too much in my preparation. I was preparing and doing all my training, but not really sort of thinking about, what what I was preparing for because I was getting quite nervous and not often a feeling that I get. But yeah, once I was over there and with the team, the girls, the culture that Aussie Spirit have and is building is something like it just enabled me to perform at my best because the girls were super supportive. So yeah.
And Sarah, you were mentioning to me prior to the interview that Chinese Taipei were ranked 2 in the world. So for you guys to get up and have that win, what do you think the difference was? Was there changes to the team, or just better preparation, or was it the fact that the confidence was up playing at home?
Yeah, I think there's a few factors. I mean, there was some changes to the team, and maybe sometimes like with any sport, some new faces in the team sort of change the dynamic, and it can just change the culture and the atmosphere. And I think we knew that with Chinese Taipei, we knew it wasn't going to be easy, and I think we all sort of went in with the mindset of just doing whatever we needed to do for the team. It was a very team first, mindset from everyone, and yeah, I think that's worked, and yeah.
And your love for softball started for the Korean side. You live around Korean. So what got you into softball?
Yeah, so good question. My dad is Canadian, and he actually played baseball for the Canadian national team, and he was traveling with them, and then came into Perth, met my mum. One thing led to another. He never left. So his influence with baseball got me into T-ball, the Korean Cats when I was really young. And then I stayed with Korean all the way. I played a little bit of baseball and then into softball.
Beautiful. KP, you come from that lovely part of Perth?
Yes, in the halcyon days of the Glengarry Hotel, I used to live 111 steps from my front door to the Glengarry Hotel, and it was 7,312 home. So you take a few forward, a few back on the way there and the way back. Sarah, I'm just watching a video of you taking an absolute blinder of a catch in the outfield, getting out sideways. It was very Mark Warwick, almost in the slips there. So you've got a fair set of hands on you. Do you normally play in the outfield?
Yeah. So yeah, outfield normally. It was funny. I think I always played outfield, even like with T-ball, because I'm quite like a naturally quick runner. So they sort of just put me out there, and I just got really comfortable with fly balls, where when you're young, not too many people are. But yeah, like I love being out in the outfield. Yeah, it's good. I have to be really loud so people can hear me. You know what I mean? I love to chat on the field. So I reckon if I was in the infield, people would get pretty sick of me.
And do you zone out ever? Do you ever find yourself just having a look around the trees and the birds? Because I did when I played cricket. If I was in the outfield, that's me. I'm done. Watching cars go past and talking to people having a barbecue.
Yeah, I think it's like a different skill set. Like with softball, like when I go away on tournaments, like I normally find physically I'm okay. It's you get like fatigued mentally because of that constant focusing. So yeah, it's something that I've gotten better at. Like obviously I still want to work on it, but yeah, I think I'm attuned to like making sure I'm switching on.
Yeah, you got to. I think not that I played sport at anywhere near the level that you played at, but it is that ability to be able to switch on at the right moment. You got to be able to tune out and tune off. Hey, you mentioned T-ball there, and I've just of recent I've been on my social media feed been seeing some fantastic montages people did get together of the kids playing T-ball and some of the the kids just sitting, like sitting there crying. Oh, that's a good thing, but just the funny stuff that goes on in T-ball. And it took me back to when I used to coach my brothers down there at Greenwood High School. We get down there. It was hilarious. And obviously it still is. So that's great. You came through the ranks there. And it's good that you're from a great part of town, being the Careen area. A lot of my good mates are from Careen. Shout out to my mate Mitch, who I know is listening, and not in a great spot at the moment, Mitch, but we're all thinking about you, buddy. So, and also, Sarah, not only are you, one of the rare people who's represented, and we spoke about this off air, that represent Australia, and you chose the sport, and congratulations on that. But I believe that you also play not only an outstanding AFL, what is it? WAFLW footballer, but you also play for the best club over there in WA.
Yeah, the Mighty Falcons. I've been lucky enough to be able to play both, sports, softball and footy at quite a high level. I love both sports differently, and they're both very different, but I think they, the skills are quite transferable and they help each other out.
And do you know what the Falcons used to be called?
Were they the Cardinals?
We were the Mighty Cardies. That's where we were the Cardinals. Yeah, the garlic munchers they used to call us because it was East Perth, well, not East Perth Oval, Leederville Oval, Leederville Oval, and because it was in those days it was surrounded by, well, not market gardens, but Leederville was very Greek diverse and Italian diverse culture through there. So for some unknown reason they called us the garlic munchers, but remember some pretty fun days. I remember when the club moved up to Joondalup, that I was massively disappointed, and I was even more horrified when East Perth moved into Leederville Oval. It was gut wrenching, but that's great. So whereabouts, what position do you play on the footy field?
So forward, predominantly small forward, but then I'll rotate through the midfield, normally for clearances. If we just need a bit of, to get the ball going our way, I'll jump in the mid for a bit. But I'm happy to play wherever the coach sort of wants me.
Sure. One of the things that we talk about a lot on this show is AFLW, and we are unapologetically critical of it as a feeder, as a competition, because we think that it's grown too quickly, and that there's some absolutely outstanding talent out there in the waffle and also the VFLW league. How do you feel about it as a competition?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the AFLW girls are really fortunate to have such a strong support in the AFL. We see lots of other women's sports, struggle funding wise because they don't have that resource. But I mean, I enjoy watching it. I do think they extended the number of teams probably too quickly. And with that, I feel, then they had to sort of put lots of cross-code athletes in, and then if you're someone watching AFLW for the first time, and because of the girls who are playing cross-code athletes, mate, they probably don't know the game as well. So then I feel like it leaves people they don't get a good opinion first up of AFLW, and it's really hard to win that back. So, but I think it is definitely heading in the right direction. I think once we see these girls that have played Auskick all the way through, who has just known the ins and outs of footy, I think that's when, it'll be great to watch, but I think we still probably need to wait another 5 or so years to see that happening.
Sarah, we actually spoke a few times on the show over the last couple of months. We actually flagged the idea that it should have probably been state competitions to strengthen those, and then maybe have like a state of origin at the end of that, so that there is the best of the best. What's your thoughts on that as an idea? Do you think that would have been a better way to go?
I mean, it's definitely not a bad idea. I think with that theory, I think you're upskilling a larger number of people rather than just, say, giving 8 teams in the AFLW. You know, if you have a state program, you know, a state team versus state team, you could have, you know, 40 or 50 girls per state. You know what I mean? So I think it would, affect a larger population of people. I just think they should have just kept 8 or 10 teams to the AFLW for a longer period of time, until, you know, there was that next generation of girls that have played from Auskick all the way through.
Yeah. Looks like we were right again, KP. So some of those people that have had a bit of a jazz at us, saying that you know, we're getting into the girls and not appreciating female sports. Well, they were wrong. We just have an opinion that seems to be pretty similar to the girls.
It's not. It's not that we rip into the sport. It's our mantra on this show is that everybody should have the right to participate, and we stand by that. But the criticism is, and without not putting words into Sarah's mouth, but the criticism that we have, which Sarah seems to be backing up, is that the talent was stretched too thin, so therefore they put in athletes as opposed to skilled players. And it just dilutes the quality of the sport. Now, I agree 100% with what Sarah said. Is they should have stayed at 8 or 10 teams, you know, and crossbred the club, if that makes sense. We heard me say it before: the Hawthorn Demons or the St Kilda Bombers or whatever it might have been, and kept the talent pool, so that it was substantially more difficult for someone to break into that side because of the skill level. And some of these girls that are running around, they're incredible athletes. I mean, they've got massive engines in them. They can go all day, but it's just this skill level lets them down. And you see that, you know, streaming down the wing, have a couple of bounces and kick the ball out of bounds on the full, and you just go, you know, that's the game. You know, it's called football for a reason. You put the ball on your foot, you kick it. So I just like to see that I would have preferred to see the AFL take their time and develop not only the clubs but also the skill level. And I've never considered what Sarah said, but it's a great thing. And this is what we talk about using it. You know, the feeder clubs coming through, is that the kids, the young women that are participating now are going to come through, through and have a greater understanding and a greater skill set. So the game is probably only 5 years away from being as elite as, say, the NRL is. Mm-hmm.
Now, Sarah, you've just completed the series against Chinese Taipei, but in early January, Australia will be playing against the USA. So that'll be a huge series for them. What's your predictions there?
Yeah, this is huge for softball in Australia. Someone will correct me, but I think it's over. Maybe I think the last time USA were in Australia to play softball was the 2000 Sydney Olympics. So it's very rare that they come out, but they're doing it because the softball championships are in Queensland in 2028. So all the teams want to come and, you know, check out the fields, but it's going to be tough. USA, they have the ability to play softball, you know, all year round in such high level competitions where, you know, because Australia is quite remote, we have to do a lot more traveling. But yeah, it will be tough, but just such a great experience.
And it's the first game's actually the 31st of December.
Yeah, I mean,
you'd feel a twinge in the hammy that day, wouldn't you? Because you'd want to go out and get on the champers. on New Year's Eve.
Maybe you would, KP.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think, obviously timing's not ideal, but we have, so every year we have our national championships in January. So I play for Western Australia. We all the states meet. So this year it's in Victoria, and we all, Perth. So, I'm not in the USA series, but some of the girls are having to play Chinese Taipei, then a month later USA, and then a week later the national champs. So it's going to be full on.
And the national champs are in Victoria this year.
Yeah, Glen Waverley.
I'll be down. I'll come down. I'll do a live feed from there. I'll do a live feed, Paul.
You can work behind the bar, KP.
I'll be standing behind the bar or in front of it.
Yeah, it's good there, Glen Waverley. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I can get the train there. I know I can get the train there because I've gone past it before. Oh, that'd be huge. And so how many with the Chinese Taipei series that's recently gone past? How many did you have in the squad?
I think there was 18
Right.
or 19. And yeah, I was one of 4 girls that was their first time playing for the Spirit. And like I said, we all us rookies, performed and did our role. But again, I think it was because the culture was so positive. You see in sport how important the culture is.
We talk about culture a lot here, and you don't muck around, you guys. I mean, you play games back to back to back to back. I mean, there's no rest.
Yeah.
Well, there appears to be very little rest.
Yeah, that's the thing. I touched on it earlier. Softball. Sometimes it is physically demanding a lot. Different to when I play a game of footy for West Perth, but it's the mental, to have that mental capacity to switch on for a 2-hour game. You have half an hour off and switch back on. It is, that's probably the toughest part for me. Yeah.
And what would you say to young kids that want to get involved in softball or t-ball? I mean, it's a great sport, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely an underrated sport. I mean, I think I know a lot of players, we get caught up with, when we make a mistake, we think about it all the time. And then when we do something good, like get a hit, we under-celebrate it. Sport is tough, and softball and baseball and t-ball is hard. So when you do something well, or your teammate does something well, enjoy it, because that's the stuff you want to remember.
And Sarah, who do you look up to? Who's the role models that you base your game around?
Yeah, so I've been super lucky. The former Aussie Spirit centre fielder, Lee Godfrey, went away to the Olympics when it was in Tokyo. She's a WA-based athlete. So I worked with her when I was young, and then when I made the WA team for the first time. And now she will come down to trainings and mentor me in my specific, because she's an outfielder, but she's also a left-handed hitter like I am myself. So she helps me with my craft.
Brilliant. I think I met Lee down at the Fremantle Rebels once. I was down watching the sport. Yeah, so I've been down a couple of times. Held up the one of the bar stools there, watching off the balcony. It was fantastic down there. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good down there. I was with Lee actually the other day. I was down fishing, and I said, "Oh, you should come." No one caught anything, right? Lee, being Lee, catches this giant flathead. I'm never inviting her fishing again.
I don't like people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to Lee, who I know he's listening.
You ever coming fishing again, Lee? You might as well pack up your kit and go home. Mentor away, mate. Mentor away, Lee. That's what you're good at. Stay away from the fishing poles.
So you've been busy today. You've been busy today. You've been telling me you've been making a bed. What, have you just moved house, or you just got yourself a new bed?
Yeah, so we're just in the process, me and my partner and kids, we've just finished building a house. So now we're up to the final stages. So I didn't have work today, so I've just been building beds, all that fun stuff.
And running around the house in your West Perth t-shirt.
Yeah, well, I've got training soon, so
Okay.
it was easier just to chuck it on this morning.
So will you come back on the show just before the Australian Championships and talk us through that?
Yeah, of course.
So that's in March, right?
The national ones?
Yeah, the National Championships, yeah?
No, that's January. It's like the first or second week in Jan.
Okay, sorry, got it wrong.
You're not going away? You're not going away on holidays? We can lock you in?
No, you can lock me in.
Righto, beautiful.
We're getting you back on the show. It's just been an absolute pleasure to have you on, Sarah. You just grounded and refreshing, and just great to have you on the show. And you tell it like it is, which is what we like to see. And you should be rightfully proud of your place inside that Australian side. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thanks so much, boys, for having me. This is a great podcast you've got going, and looking forward to coming on in the future.
Awesome. So, we're here to support all local sports here in WA, softball. We've had multiple sports. So, make sure you subscribe to Spotify for more content and wonderful interview guests like we've had with Sarah. We'll be back with our main segment very soon. KP, I'll chat to you then.
Yep. Stay there, Sarah. Don't run away.
All right.